Hey everybody, it's Cody Brewski here with Brewski Racing, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about and give my reviews on something that I really am happy that I did to my car, and that would be installing a Cobb access port. Now, they're about the size of a cell phone, as you can see, and they run about $600, $650, which on the surface, is a lot of money, and it's definitely an investment in your car, but one that I believe is well worth the money, especially for what they can do. Now, the process for flashing a WRX, at least for the 02 to 07, is you have to crawl up underneath the dash and plug in these two little green plugs, and it puts your car into test mode. It runs the radiator fans and another thing or two, but it allows the access port to go in and reflash the ECU. This only needs to be done once. You can go back under, unplug them, and after that, it's super easy. The access port stores all of your maps, and you can change them on the go when you want, as long as the access port, is consistently plugged in. What's kind of cool though is on the Ford Focus RS, one of my buddies owns one, is the ECU in that car, instead of only being able to store one map like my WRX, can store up to 6 maps. And so his process is even easier anytime he wants, driving or not. A few clicks on his buttons on his steering wheel and he can change his map instantly, which is really kind of a cool process. I, on the other hand, in order to be able to do the same type of thing, I have to leave my access port plugged in all the time while my car is going if I want to be able to change maps on the go. I've never had much of an issue with it because with the access port you can monitor any sensor in the car, and so you can monitor up to 6 sensors at once. And so I always have 6 monitors running, like boost and coolant temps, stuff like that, just to keep an eye on the workings of the car, make sure nothing's out of whack. So I really have never had an issue with it. The access port just sits up on my windshield, and it's it doesn't really block my vision, and it's super easy to use, and it's a really nice convenience to have. Now, for the differences in maps that Cobb supplies, the Stage 1 map versus the stock ECU map, you really don't feel much of a performance difference, but you do notice a difference between how the car runs. The Stage 1 map bumps up your power and your torque a little bit, but really not a noticeable difference. But you do notice that your car runs smoother. You do get better gas mileage on the Stage 1 map because the stock maps are meant to be safe for the car, so they run extra rich and a few other things. And so the Stage 1 map fixes everything that's in the stock map and makes your car run smooth and nice, and you would definitely have a smoother power delivery throughout the RPMs. But there's definitely a noticeable difference between the Stage 1 map and the Stage 2 map performance-wise. And all you need to run the Stage 2 map from Cobb is you need a bell mouth 3-inch downpipe that allows you to flow the air you need to run the increased boost. This does bump up your power quite a bit. I think Cobb's advertised numbers are 290 horsepower and about 330 horsepower, and of course, those are crank numbers, but you definitely feel it between the Stage 1 and Stage 2 map. And I've ran that map now for about 8 months, and it's been fantastic. I haven't had any issues with my engine, transmission. The car takes the power extremely well and has never gave me a problem because of it. And so I really enjoy the Stage 2 map, but of course here over the summer when I start putting some other parts into my car, I'm going to have to get the map pro-tuned. And of course, if you have the right tuner, the Pro Tune is a lot better way to go, but of course, to get my car Pro Tune starts about $400, whereas you get an access port for $600 and you can have any one of Cobb's off-the-shelf maps. So it's definitely a cheaper way to go about it, and a way that I would suggest to go about it up until you really start having parts that require specialty tunes, like changing turbos, fuel injectors, that kind of thing. Now, Cobb offers some more off-the-shelf maps. The two that I've used are the economy map and the valet map. For the economy map, it cuts your power, makes you run a little bit more efficiently in order to get you a few more miles to the gallon. I've used it a few times on some of my longer trips, and I really didn't notice enough of a difference to justify the loss in power. Like, I think I saved 2-3 miles to the gallon maybe, but that's over the course of a 300-mile trip. But to me, I would rather have the power and, get a little bit worse gas mileage than cut my power and try to save, a few bucks here and there. So I've always ran the Stage 2 map. I've kind of given up on the economy map. The valet map, though, on the other hand, is super helpful. You have to give your car to a shop at some point in time. It's inevitable. One way or another, it's going to end up there. And so the best thing about the valet map is it cuts the red line down to 3,500 RPM. It takes away a lot of your power. And so that way you can have peace of mind that when you do have to give your car to a shop, that nobody's out joyriding your car, nobody's redlining your car, you know, especially people that drive loud cars like a lot of WRX owners. People at shops like to hear the noise. And so there's a lot of hitting the rev limiter, all kinds of stuff like that that you would never yourself do to your car, but people that don't have to own your car have less of an issue doing. And so I'm very happy with the valet map and use it every time I unfortunately have to give my car to a shop. Well, I think that about covers it. Overall, I would suggest anybody with a WRX or an STI definitely get an access port. They're super helpful to have, along with the monitoring capabilities. They can reset engine lights. They're a fantastic tool to have for the car and a great investment. So that wraps up my review of the Cobb access port. Coming here to the near future of my channel, here in the next couple of weeks, we have another rallycross event going on in Great Falls. It'll be a 2-day event, so I should be able to get you guys a lot of footage and a lot of coverage of the event. Speaking of rallycross though, I'm getting a new car. I'm not selling the WRX, I'm keeping the WRX so I can kind of have it more as a project car, you know, a car that I don't need to rely on every day for travel. Something I can leave torn apart for a while, you know, in the shop. So I'm super excited. This car is gonna kick ass. It is an 80s classic, and I'm excited to show it to you guys and give you guys the walk around. I'm probably way more excited than most people are about this car, but hopefully you guys are too. But you guys will see it in the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping to have it by the end of next week, and we'll see what happens. I'll be doing some more reviews about stuff I've done to my car and stuff I plan on doing to my car here in the near future. If there's anything you guys want to see or any comments you guys may have, please leave them below. I'm always open to improvement and suggestions from people watching my videos. You know, I make these for you, not for me. So let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll do my best to show it to you. But in the meantime, if you liked my video, please share, subscribe, throw me a like, whatever works for you guys. Have a good one.